3 days of mourning for India's western state of Maharashtra after the death of its deputy chief minister in a plane crash. Ajit Pawar was flying from Mumbai to his home region of Baramati. His plane reportedly crashed as it attempted to land. Two of his staff members as well as two crew were on board. The Civil Aviation Authority reporting no survivors as investigations continue into determining the cause. Flight tracking data suggesting the plane was attempting a second approach when it crash landed. Neha Poonia is covering a story for CNA live from New Delhi. Neha, we just have that flight tracking data. What more do we know at this point about the movements before the crash landing?
We now have a statement from the Indian Civil Aviation Minister. He has said that it appears from information that's been gleaned by talking to the air traffic control staff at the Baramati airport where the crash happened, that visibility might have been an issue. He's saying, of course, this is based on preliminary information gathering, and a full-fledged probe is now being carried out. Probe teams are in Baramati as you and I speak, and they will be looking at the factors leading up to that crash. But the air traffic control staff also narrating how this aircraft, a business jet, had tried to make multiple attempts to land just before it crashed. It had, gone around the airstrip several times as well. And when it finally got clearance to land, the ATC saying that there was no response from the pilots of that private chartered plane, and just a minute later the plane crashed just off the runway. CCTV cameras in that area have captured the final moments. You can see how there's a huge explosion. You can see big black plumes of smoke coming out of that site. Pictures from the site in Baramati, which you said correctly is Ajit Pawar's home district. You can see the wreckage. There's only the tail that survives. Everything else, completely mangled. This was a Learjet plane, a privately chartered plane that flew off from Mumbai. It was owned by a Delhi-based company. And in the aftermath of the crash, there are questions about transparency, particularly, calls to check the history of the plane, whether there were any issues as well, to ensure that the probe conducted is a thorough one. And this is, a big question in India, especially after the air crash in Gujarat last year as well, with many people saying there needs to be more accountability as well from the civil aviation watchdog.
Yeah, of course, any loss of life in a plane crash is a tragedy for family members concerned. But Mr. Ajit Pawar is a towering figure in local politics. Prime Minister Modi already paying his condolences to Mr. Pawar's family. What else have leaders said about the passing of the senior figure in Maharashtra?
Absolutely. He was a name that was synonymous with politics in Maharashtra, and that's partly due to the political legacy of his family. He comes from the Pawar family, which has been synonymous with politics in Maharashtra for decades. His uncle is Sharad Pawar, who is a towering figure himself in national politics, a very well-regarded opposition figure. And Ajit Pawar was in a lot of ways considered his political heir. But the two parted ways in 2023 following a split within their party, the NCP. And that's when Ajit Pawar left with a large chunk of leaders joining Prime Minister Narendra Modi's party, the Bharatiya Janata Party, to form the government that is in power in Maharashtra today. He's a leader that is considered to have had a huge mass appeal. Prime Minister Narendra Modi talking about how he was a grassroots level leader. And that's a sentiment that has been echoed, cutting across party lines. He'll now be laid to rest in a state funeral on Thursday.
Thanks. Neha Poonia, they're covering the story for CNA Live from New Delhi.